Hey, y'all. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show. Y'all, I'm so excited today. We're going to be talking about how do you actually start enjoying the journey. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's some of us out here that are absolutely not enjoying the journey of our life, and we are losing out. We are missing out on so much goodness that we could have. And guess what? We're going to talk about it right after this. All right. If you are here joining me live on the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show, go ahead and drop your name and where you are tuning in from in the chat. I am excited to be with you today. Okay, so listen, we're talking all about start enjoying the journey. And you know who you are if you are living a miserable life right now. Now, listen, it's easy to wake up every single day and to just do the same thing over and over again and to just grind so hard that you're trying to reach your goals that you miss the journey. It is easy to do. Being a high achiever and the person that I am goal oriented. I think a lot of us can be goal oriented and goal focused, and there is nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, it's awesome. If you are goal oriented and you love reaching and hitting big milestones and even small milestones, I say go you. We're in the same place. I've always been that person where I love, love, love hitting goals. And I've always strived for big goals and big dreams in my life. But that has come at a price. And I will say that it has taken me, throughout my life to learn the lesson that you can hit those goals, but once you hit them, at the end of the day, now what? Because then you're looking around and be like, all right, well, I guess it's on to the next. In the meantime, you was living a miserable life. You was being not so nice to your friends and your family. You was staying up all night. You was losing a lot of sleep in the process. And there's just it goes on and on and on. And so I say to you that if that's you, then this episode of the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show is gonna be so instrumental for you. So I'll get into an example. If you are like me and you have a lot of goals in your life, or you just have some goals, and or you put down goals every single year, the chances are you want to hit those goals. I mean, we all want to hit those goals, right? Like we all absolutely have goals that we want to hit in our life. And I am that way. So some of you know I was on a PhD, getting my PhD a couple of years ago. And let me just tell you, I was goal oriented. I was focused. My whole goal was getting done with that PhD. I was so over it. I was so done. I just wanted to be finished because, first of all, life is hard when you're going to school and you're working. And for me, I was going to school, I was working in my two businesses. I had a toddler, I was pregnant with one on the way. I had a husband. I was trying to have a life. I have friends, all those things. And it was just super difficult. So my goal was to get finished, get finished with the PhD as quick as possible. And let me just tell you how much stress that put on me. It put on so much stress. And so I'll say how you show up to something, right? The mindset that you have around life can can add so much stress to your life that is ridiculous, right? So I started looking at my friends, one friend in particular, my friend Sharice. Dr. Sharice Cole. Now, I love Sharice, right? Sharice came into my life. She was a former client, and then now we turned like the closest of friends. But at the time, we were in the same program, and Sharice always seemed to be real cool and easy about it. She'd be like, "It's okay, Kiki, we got it. It's all right. We gonna get it done. It's okay." And so I'm stressing away a lot of times, and then she was just like, "It's okay. We got it." And so with her calm demeanor and the fact that she always thought that we had it, which by the way we did, it taught me a lesson. Two people can be experiencing the same things differently. Two people can be experiencing the exact same thing differently. Here's how we were experiencing the exact same thing. Now, Sharice was married. I'm married. Sharice had two kids. I had two kids, but I did have one on the way. Sharice had a job. I had a job, a business, right? And we were both in the same program, taking the same classes. And we both still had dissertations to write. And so I say to you that your mindset is absolutely everything when you're showing up to your life. But why is it so important, right? To enjoy the journey. Well, we both were trying to get to the end, which is, the PhD, and that was awesome. But I could have, and I learned how to do this, have a much more enjoyable experience of getting my PhD when I stopped and slowed down and learned how to enjoy what I was actually doing. I think that when you are so stressed out, when you are so focused on the goal of what you're trying to do, you miss stuff. Oh my God, let me say it. You miss just these little things that can equal big things. You miss relationship building opportunities. You missed all those things when you're only focused and you're only stressed about the outcome of what you're trying to get done. So throughout my PhD, I literally met so many beautiful people, right? Sharice, we became great friends. Dr. Paula Anderson, we became such amazing friends. Mike and Preston and you know what I'm saying, and Keith and all these just beautiful people. We became such amazing, wonderful friends because I learned how to stop and slow down and enjoy the journey of getting a PhD. And what that came with was beautiful relationships that I have to this day. And also a, a understanding of all of the concepts and the knowledge that I was taught in the program. A lot of times when you're doing something like going to school, when you're only focused on graduating school, you can't even comprehend and learn all of the beautiful lessons in the books and stuff that you're supposed to learn because you're too focused on finishing. I have so many amazing books. As y'all can see, the bookshelf is on fleek, and then I have two more bookshelves in my office as well. But I have so many books and so many articles and just material that I learned when I learned to like actually dig in and slow down and not only be focused on graduating. I learned so many things, right? And that is you. If you're It might not be school for you, but it might be work. There may be something that you need to learn at work, but because you're trying to get through that training or you're trying to get the promotion, you're missing valuable lessons in your life. You're absolutely missing valuable lessons, but you don't have to, right? You don't have to. And so I feel like for me, enjoying the journey is so very important because I know there's times throughout my life that I missed so many things. I missed a whole bunch of things throughout my life. And I didn't have to, but I did, right? And I'll give you another example. I can remember being on a journey towards in vitro, right? A lot of us, who've actually been on a fertility journey understand what I'm talking about. it's not fun, right? Like it's not fun. The process in itself is not fun per se, right? There can be a lot of disappointment in the process and everything. But throughout that process, I had to kind of like step back and really enjoy or try to find the joy in the process of trying to conceive and create new life, especially when it came to what me and my husband were going through in our life together. This was an experience that we were sharing together. And who knows, the outcome, who knew the outcome at the time. I'm so glad that we end up having beautiful Mackenzie Jade, right? And then subsequently having Walter Ramsey, aka Trey, our baby, because of that. But at the end of the day, who knew? And so I had to, take the time to really think about the process that I'm going through, the process that I'm putting my body through, right? There's so many changes in my body. And I really believe that the female body is a modern day miracle. It always has been, right? And so just the things that are going through my body and how I'm showing up to the world. And then when I did get pregnant and started, along that journey of pregnancy, I was like, oh Lord, this is crazy, right? I was nervous, I was scared. And I also didn't have the most amazing pregnancies. I was sick a lot, very nauseous. And so I really had to overcome the feelings that I had about the journey. Okay. Because I'm not like a lot of the women that I meet who say I had a beautiful, glorious pregnancy. Boo, that wasn't me. That was not me. I had to try real hard during my pregnancy to just crack a smile. And I remember, because when I was going through my fertility journey during my first cycle, I actually ended up getting pregnant. And unfortunately I had a miscarriage, and I don't talk about that all that much, but it did happen to me. And I think that we as women, a lot of times we don't talk about some of the things that are the most painful to us, but I also believe that when we do, we create power in other women. And so I had a miscarriage. And when I actually conceived the next time, I was so nervous that that was going to happen again. I was so nervous. And so for the first, I'm not going to kid you, I'm not going to lie, the first 25 weeks of my pregnancy, I was walking on eggshells. I was so nervous. I didn't want to work out like I would normally work out and go running because I was fearful that something was going to happen. And then I thought about it one day and I'm like, you know what? The Lord has not brought me this far to leave me. And even if something drastically or terrible happens, He's still with me. And so I had to really think about that. And at 25 weeks, I can remember going to Babies R Us um, and starting my baby registry because I had committed to enjoying the journey of this beautiful miracle of a pregnancy that the Lord allowed me to have. And from that point on, I started running and working out and just sharing the good news with everybody, and life changed. I mean, my experience, although I still was sick pretty much my entire pregnancy, the experience was so much better because I then began to learn how to enjoy the journey. And that's what we have to do. We have to learn how to really pick ourselves up and enjoy the journey, because guess what? If you're only looking for the destination, you're going to get yourself to that destination one day. And I promise you, you're going to be like, all right, what's next? How do I know you're going to do that? Because that's what we all do. We are goal oriented beings, right? A lot of us are going to get to a goal, we set that goal, and then what, does life supposed to be over at that point? No. You set another goal. That's what you do. You're going to set another goal, which is the reason why if you don't enjoy the journey and you only celebrate when you get to the goal, you're only going to have a couple little a couple little celebrations throughout your life, and the rest of your life is going to be downhill because you are wasting so much time not enjoying the journey. Now, here's the thing. Let me just say this. A lot of times when we think about, topics like this, we like, I heard that so many times. It's so cliche and all this kind of stuff. And I know what to do and all this kind of stuff, right? And how do you enjoy the journey, Kiki, Dr. Kiki, when there's so much messed up stuff going on in my life? I get it. I absolutely get it. Because girlfriend, life be lifing. It absolutely do every single day. And I mean, as a matter of fact, you better hope life, because that means you're still alive. Hello, somebody. Um, but let me just say this. You're gonna have hard times. Period. Period. I mean, you're going to have hard times in life. We all are, and we all do. It wouldn't be life if you didn't have hard times. If you only experience good and glorious times, then wow, I want to know who you are because I don't know nobody who only have good times. Um, but even in the most difficult of times, I try to find the good in that situation. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's hard when you lose somebody you love. Trust me, I know. I lost my mom 14 years ago, and there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about her. My husband has lost his mother and father, and there's not a day that doesn't go by that he don't think about them. I get it. Loss is so hard, and you do need to grieve loss. Nobody's saying that you just keep it going and you're supposed to just put on a good face every single day. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that in the midst of hard and difficult times, if you don't stop to enjoy the journey, it's going to be a really, really hard when you decide to come out on the other side and we don't know what that then looks like. Both can exist. Hard times and enjoyment can also exist. I mean, think about a birth or a pregnancy, right? Going through pregnancy can be hard for some people. Going through labor, baby, let me just tell you, that is no piece of cake. But when you come through the labor and then you have this beautiful baby on the other side, oh my God, that's what it was all for, right? And so if you had such a hard time and you never enjoyed, the pregnancy, and you never tried to find beauty in, this baby, this child that you're carrying, and then you get to this glorious little piece, this baby on the end, yes, it's going to be good, but then all the beautiful lessons and all the beautiful times that you could have had while you were pregnant and carrying are lost. And some of us, don't have kids or haven't had kids, but you can put this to anything in your life. And so I want you to then wake up and begin enjoy the journey. And I'm gonna give you three ways that I think are important for us and for you as you start on your journey of enjoyment of life. The first one is I want you to really understand that the end result is only half of the equation. The end result is only the half of the equation. I almost titled this one, Don't Focus on the End Result, but I honestly think that's unrealistic, right? I mean, even if I'm talking to myself, people are like, don't focus on the end result, focus on the journey. I'm like, job bye. I'm about to graduate. I'm focused on graduating school right now. So I don't want to hear you talking about don't focus on the end result, right? I understand that. I get that. So that's why I said understand that the end result is only half of the equation. Yes, you want to get to the end result. And just understand once you get to the end result, hopefully you do a little dance, you'll celebrate, and then you're going to create another goal. And then you go start on your journey some more, right? And so it's only half the equation because getting to the end result is what matters. So I want you to have a journey mindset versus a destination mindset. A journey mindset means that you show up every day. You understand that you're on a journey. You understand that life is a marathon and you might as well enjoy it while you're on the marathon. Because I don't know about y'all, but yeah, marathons are long. Right? I'm a runner. I've never run a full marathon. I've run a half marathon, and currently in my life, I'm running 5Ks. Okay, so it keeps getting shorter and shorter. But life in itself is a marathon. And so you got to have that journey mindset versus a that destination mindset. All right. So number 2, practice gratitude. I, wake up, y'all know I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And when I'm sitting and I'm thinking and I'm praying, I'm really thanking God and just being grateful for what I have. Some of us have been afforded some beautiful lives that we complain about consistently. Some of us absolutely need a wake up call because we have been so absolutely blessed in our lives and we are taking it for granted. And that amazes me. It's interesting because me and Jamil were talking the other day, my husband, and we were talking about like how our kids are growing up, how it's so different from the way that we grew up and when we were children. And I know that this is the only thing that my children know, but for some reason I just don't want them to take their life for granted. And so one of the things that we do is we really are beginning to try to teach them to have gratitude and to be grateful, because we're explaining to them, mommy and daddy ain't got to do this for you. I'm doing this for you because I'm nice. I'm doing this for you because I want to do this for you, but I don't have to do this for you. We don't have to go out to eat. You ain't got to have all these toys. You don't got to have your food preference of choice. You don't have to have any of that. I got to feed you, clothe you, house you. Yes. But the rest of the stuff is extra. The rest of the stuff is absolutely extra. So I have to remind them, but this is us teaching them, right? Teaching them right now that these things are a privilege. These things are something that you need to be grateful for because there are alternatives to this. And I think we need to learn those same lessons in our lives. You may be way farther in your life than your parents ever were, or than your friend circle ever has been, right? You might be further in your life and you may have so many things, but yet you're taking it for granted because you don't see it as a blessing. So I think that all of us can definitely use a gratitude break. And what that means is just really stopping and to look and to acknowledge all the things that you have been blessed with. And even the fact that you woke up this morning, you should be grateful about, because I don't know about you, but man, there are so many people who are not here or have passed away for whatever reason. And so just the fact that you're alive is something that's so important. Absolutely. So take that break, that gratitude break, and acknowledge all the things that you are thankful for, because you didn't have to have those either. And the last thing I want to share with you is I want you to practice mindfulness. I've found that this is one of the biggest keys to myself being happy on my journey, is when I can practice mindfulness. And mindfulness is really being still and noticing your senses, noticing your smell, touch, feel. I said that touch. All of those things, what you're hearing, and being non-judgmental about it, really, right? Like not being judgmental about what's going on in the moment of life. And so I really take moments of mindfulness, especially when I'm with my kids and my family, because I want to be present. It doesn't make sense to be in a situation where you cannot be present for your life. I want to be present. I want to be present for my family and my children. And I also want to be present for myself. And when I'm actually practicing mindfulness, taking that break or taking that time out for myself, I can actually think. This is why I build in mindfulness into uh, my life and my day. So that's why I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Because when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's just silent. It's just me awake in the house, and I can sit and be with myself and my thoughts and my dreams and all of that. Right. So I can sit and be with me and really think about life and think about what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. And that to me is a beautiful thing because I'm more creative and I come up with so many awesome and amazing things when I'm being mindful. But when I'm mindful, I'm also present to the needs of my children and what my husband might need and what my friends might need, because I also want to be able to show up for them as well as myself. But it takes being still sometimes and being mindful. And when I am mindful, it allows me to be way more grateful for the life that I have, even though things might not be perfect. I think it's a beautiful thing when we can just be silent and be with ourselves. I don't think enough of us does that. I think that we are so busy trying to accomplish the goals that we set out for ourselves that we just miss it. We miss so much. And I was frankly tired of missing. I was frankly tired of living my life so much on autopilot and only focusing on the goal, that I was missing all the beautiful moments that were had or that I could have had in life. So if you are missing life, if you're just waking up every single day, going with the flow, just doing stuff, not thinking about it, I want you to stop and I want you to practice some mindfulness so that you can begin enjoying the journey of your life, of your life. Well, I am so excited. Now, so listen, I hope that helped you because I know for a fact it helped me. As I was thinking about, this episode of the podcast, I was like, man, I really keep hearing this thing throughout because I'm talking to so many women who are just go, go, go and high achievers. And like I said, I'm all for it. I am here for it. I'm in the same category. I have so many things in achieving, and I want to help other women succeed and achieve as well. But I also know that we can't succeed and achieve great things at our own expense and at the expense of the people who love us the most. So if you are listening to the sound of my voice and you are overworked and you are stressed out, you are burnt out, it's time to stop and learn how to enjoy the journey because it's the journey that's going to get you to the destination in the first place. Okay. All right. So I thank y'all for being with me here today live. If you were here with me live, if not, if you listen to me on your local podcast station, go ahead and like it. Leave us a review. We love to hear from you. And then if you're a woman, a professional woman who needs a supportive network of women who are there to help you succeed, and for me as helping you succeed as a coach, then join us over on Happy Women Lead community. The community is absolutely free for you to join, and we'd love to see you there and support you on this journey towards success and happiness. You can find us at happywomenlead.com. All righty. I will see y'all next week or on the next episode of the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show. Until next time, you know how to go out there and create your own happiness.